Good morning, everyone. So we are doing some assignments that are based from the book Who's Your Source? And we're also doing discussion of marbles, which this is an incredible book. I'm really enjoying reading this for, I think, probably the fourth or fifth time. Anyway, I wanted to say a few things about the discussions. Please use Canvas on a laptop computer, not your phone. This is always true. This isn't just true for discussions, but for example, many of my comments on your papers and your fellow students' comments on your drafts aren't going to come up if you use the Canvas app or if you're accessing Canvas through your phone. Canvas is just not very well designed for a mobile interface. And then the other thing that I wanted to say is whatever word processing program you're using, if you're using Google Docs or Word, you all have free access to Word through your, because you're YVC students, we have a license for that. That is the way to compose writing, not on your phone, not just because the interface on your phone isn't as swift or as, it's just nothing compared to typing. Typing is so much faster than whatever thumbing. But also because it's a way of saying, like, this is my writing time. We do so many things on our phones that it's hard to set them aside as a place for just one thing, right? You can use your phone as a computer remote. You can use your phone as a paperweight or a bookmark. You also use your phone to spy on your friends who aren't your friends anymore. Whatever you use your phone for, I know each of you uses it for many things. Please have a laptop or Chromebook, something like that, that you're using. And if you need one, if you go to the YVC portal, the college will provide you with a laptop for that purpose. So please use that for all of the writing that you do in this course. So that said, the stuff that I've seen in the discussions about marbles has been really great, and I've been in there saying things sometimes too, but I'm mostly trying to not let my questions dominate the conversation because I think your questions are so interesting. If you have, here's the strategy, right? Do your reading, put a question in, keep up with the board, put the question in like a day or two before it's due, keep up with the board, look at other people's questions. And, that first question, maybe that first question is 20 words, maybe that first question is 50 words, maybe it's 100. You'll get up to that 300 words as you respond to responses to your question, as you respond to other people's questions. Maybe you need to post another question. The idea is that you do the reading, but it's a recursive process because you keep thinking about the reading because you have to keep writing about it and you have to stay in this conversation. Obviously, if we were in person, this is something that we would do during class discussion, and so you'd be with a group of students, you'd be able to talk about it, you'd be able to think and hear yourself think that way. Now you're hearing yourself think or seeing yourself think by continuing to write about the section that we're talking about. And so the most important thing to do with discussion is not just hitting that word count, but finding different ways into the book by reading what other people have written and what they're confused about. And finally, what this is all leading to is your second paper, and the draft workshop is November 12th. And what I really want from all of you with this paper is I want you to be thinking about it as you're reading marbles so that when it comes time to do a draft, you have some ideas about what you've done, what you want to do. There's two options. The first has you analyze a single page and explain why that page or image, it could just be a panel, is necessary. So why that page is a good example of why Ellen Forney needed to tell this story as a graphic memoir rather than a written memoir. And if you go to the paper assignment, which is available as part of the draft workshop assignment or the paper assignment separately, it's very widely available on our Canvas, you'll see more detail about how I was thinking of doing that with page 77, which is an image of depression that is quite powerful. And it sort of lays out like what you can do in each paragraph. Again, this is a chance for you to figure out what visuals do separate from text. So it's something that I want you to do to teach yourself how to be a better reader of visuals. And some of you, I think, are already extremely strong visual readers. And so it'll be a chance for you to kind of show off. And the second option is going to be a bit more time consuming, but also I think a bit more satisfying, where you imagine a scene from Marbles and illustrate it in your own way. And by doing so, you have to decide what is important to know in the scene visually versus what is in the scene in the writing. What maybe you think needs to be added to the scene based on what's happening in the story, what kind of emphasis you want on those elements. And so explaining that and explaining that process and explaining how going in and doing that changes the way that you understand Forney's work. This is a very exciting assignment, and I know that many of you are visual artists as well as writers. So I'm really excited to see both versions of this assignment. But I also want you to, as you read through, know that this is something that's coming. So we're getting toward the end of the book. Go back. Think about the panels that meant a lot to you. Maybe look at the discussion. Look at your posts. What was on your mind in the first 2 chapters? Is that still on your mind? Did something that drew your attention the first 2 chapters end up being really important all the way through? Was there an image that meant something to you that kept recurring? Or she has those amazing images that come straight out of her depression, and so perhaps one of those images, like, you might want to think about how does it come up in the panels where she's not specifically referencing it, but does it come back as a theme, And finally, I just wanted to let you know that I'm available to you if you want to talk about Marbles, if you want to talk about any of the assignments. I attach my phone number to all of the emails, so if you just search your email for me, my phone number is on there. Or you can reach out to me via email, of course, or through Canvas messages. I just wanted to let you know that this is really challenging material, and it can be difficult to look at it with a lot of perspective, especially the first time you read it. So if you just need somebody to kind of talk it through with, I don't know what it means to take an image apart this way. I did talk about that in my last video, but I'm happy to go through it again. So reach out to me. It's Margaret, or Dr. France. Those are the 2 things that I like to be called. And I just wish for all of you to have a super duper warm November day. Woo! Happy Dia de los Muertos, and I'll see you soon.